3-team trade with the Nets.
Okay, now it makes like sense.
All right, here we go, boys. Welcome to the Not Move Podcast, Week 3. We got some heavy hitters. We got Ja, Common, JB, Southgate. We're ready to go. Tonight we're breaking down the AFC South. Let's hear some odds, Southgate.
All right, here's what we got for the AFC South. They got Houston, who is probably the most complete team there, at plus 110 as the favorite to win the division. There's a tie for the second and third team to win the division, which is Colts and Jags at both plus 300. And I think that's kind of interesting because the Colts don't even know who they're going to start at quarterback yet. And then you're looking at the Titans, who are plus $750. So we pretty much know what they're all about. So everybody could pretty much go from there. You're looking at Houston plus 110, Colts and Jags plus 300, and Titans plus 750.
Yeah, that's interesting to me because last year, if we go off last year's numbers, obviously the Texans made the playoffs. They won a playoff game. They went 10-7. They won the division. The Colts went 8-9. They finished in second, missed the playoffs. The Jags went 4-13. They were in third place, and the Titans in fourth place went 3-14. So obviously they were real top heavy with the Texans and Colts. So I see why those odds definitely are what they are according to Vegas. My personal opinion is I have the Texans personally. I have them winning the division yet again, going back to back with the division winner, going 11-6. I have the Colts finishing in second with 9-8 record. I have the Titans going 5-12, actually beating out the Jags for the 3 spot, and then I have the Jags going 3-14. Ja, did you want to hit on what your predictions are for this AFC South?
Predictions is just about the same as you, to be honest. I don't got anything else. I don't see any of the teams really get better, and particularly all stay the same. So I think the division will stay the same.
Comment, what do you got?
Oh, uh, as far as the South, right now it's Houston's to lose. You know what I mean? The other guys have made some improvements, such as the Titans, the Titans drafting Cam Ward, of course. But see, here's the thing I don't understand about that, right? I'm just going to key on this real quick. This is what I don't understand. You draft a quarterback, number 1 overall, right? Okay. Then your next picks are edge rusher, safety, wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver. And then you got an O-lineman. Y'all had the worst. Oh, y'all had, if not the worst O-line in the fucking NFL. They were ranked 32nd. They were ranked 32nd. Like I don't like that right there baffled me. Right when I we said that baffled me. You know what I mean? And then your defense ain't there either. Your defense ain't there either. So
Real quick, since he hopped in, newest member of the Not Move Podcast, Chief. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Chief,
What's
how
up?
you
What's
doing,
up?
baby?
It's going. Sorry to cut. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's good. This is
You
a good
good?
time to introduce the newest member. We're glad you're part of the family now, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate the invite. I always do. Y'all, I've been rocking with y'all for a minute, so it's good to finally be on.
Yes, it's great to have you, man. We appreciate it. Man.
So
Big thing. I needed another Chiefs guy up in here. I'm just saying.
It's getting a little
Starting
red
to
in
get
here.
outnumbered.
I'll just say it like this: it's one of those things where I've been wanting to do it for a minute. As far as what you've been talking about, as far as the AFC South is concerned, I'm gonna go sleeper, and I think I think the Colts are gonna take the division.
Hey, yo, I'm glad you just said that, Chief. 'Cause I was just about to hit on that, right? I was just about to hit on that. Now, if they can get their heads out their behinds, and if they can figure out who's going to be quarterback, so they can get reps and timing down. Listen, they have two of the top 32 linemen in the NFL, and Bernard Braden and Remain Smith, right? So now you have those two linemen, okay, on top of what you already had. All right. Now your defense is ass, right? Now your defense is ass, but you try to address that. You try, you know what I mean? They address those. They got Travarius Ward, right? They got Cameron Bynum, you know what I'm saying? So so they're making strides. At least they're, I guess like this, they're trying more than fucking the Titans are. They front office is trying more than the Titans are. So I got Indianapolis as maybe a sleeper also. I got Indianapolis maybe a sleeper also.
I actually, I'm looking at this list right now, and we could all agree. I mean, with the signing of Chubb, if he even gives 60 to 80% of what he was, Houston is probably going to be the most complete team there. But what these odds are telling me is the Colts being the same number as Jacksonville, with them being unsure who's going to be the starter, and Jacksonville getting a player of Travis Hunter, if he's 3/4 of what he's supposed to be, what he's hyped up to be, I could really see the Colts, if they get the quarterback play, making a move for this division. I don't know who the quarterback play is going to come from. Now, you all have heard my crazy take in the past. You probably know who I think it's going to come from, but I could see the Colts making a move for this division, or at least making it close.
I mean, right now you have Anthony Richardson hurt, so they've kind of already put Daniel Jones as the number one guy. So we'll have to see what happens through training camp and see what, because I haven't had a chance to look and see exactly what the exact injury is for Anthony Richardson, but at the same time, it's already not looking promising for Anthony Richardson if he's already hurt going into training camp, and Daniel Jones is fresh off a quote unquote abysmal team in time and tenure with the Giants, to where he can honestly prove himself. We've honestly seen this where you've seen quarterbacks from New York go to other teams and honestly have an overwhelming presence with their respective teams. It may take a team or two, but they will get there.
Yeah, I trust that Texans team a lot more than I do that Colts team with that quarterback position. It's just a big question mark to me.
Facts.
Hey, yo, just a little fun fact. Their new line coach is a Popovich. You know, Popovich is
Oh yeah.
Popovich. Yo. Popovich is our successful in coaching.
Yo, and the Chiefs, just
Southgate,
to
did we have
piggyback off of
breaking news out of the NBA or something? Did something happen in the NBA,
Yes,
Southgate?
Porzingis was traded.
Where'd he go?
Porzingis was dealt to the Hawks, as I bring it up, in a three-team trade. The Boston Celtics are trading center Christoph Porzingis and a second-round pick to the Atlanta Hawks as part of a three-team swap that also includes the Brooklyn Nets. Atlanta
Wow.
is sending Terrence Mann and the number 22 overall pick to Brooklyn, while Boston will receive Georges Niang and a second-round selection.
Wow.
Wow, the
Hey, when's the
Celtics got
last time we seen a
fleeced.
three-team swap in
Hey,
the
yo, hold on. I gotta give a quick shout out to New England because he had predicted that New England from no man, because he had predicted and said this tape a little while ago about how that Boston team was going to get broken up, and now, as we see now, that's two members gone already.
Yeah, are
Yeah,
they
but if
keeping
you look at
Brown
it,
now, or
I
yeah,
don't.
Brown and Tatum is gonna go. They're gonna stay. There's too much money for them to break that up. But the
I
thing
think
is though,
Tatum
but
and White.
here's the thing, right? It may be interesting because it's a new owner in town. You know, they just sold the team. That owner don't want all that money on his books. So we'll see. They may trade Brown, they may not. I don't see them doing it.
nah? He's too good of a player, man. I'd love to have him on my squad. I'll tell you that.
I
Same
actually
here.
keep the core three: Brown, Tatum, and White.
Thanks for that breaking
I
news there,
I don't
Southgate.
know. Yeah, yeah. I don't know about that, y'all. We over here still shipping champagne from our ring. So yeah, I mean,
Uh,
y'all win the
the
other night.
OKC
So
fan is getting
yeah, I
loud. Here
mean,
we
so
go.
hey, yo, man, hey man, look, we just sip it. We just sip it.
I'm still sour about not beating y'all in Game 7. Obviously, being a Nuggets fan, but that's all right. Y'all can drink your champagne.
Absolutely. But, hey, listen, check this out, dog. I went through. I went through a 64 win game season with the Sonics, and we had about this was when the first round was only 5 games, and they beat us. And we was up 2-0. Matumbo and I forgot to put the guard's name. They came back and beat us 3 straight, dog. Sent us home, 64 win season, right? Well, number one seed, 8 seed eliminated. Then then we get there in '96. Well, Mike decides to turn into Superman on, you know what I mean, Superman on the basketball court, and the Bulls win 72 games. You know what I mean? The Bulls win 72 games, and even though we did beat them during the season, they did us dirty in 6. You know what I mean? Then I had to go through the OKC with the LeBron. LeBron had to dust us off. So it's been a long time coming, man. Let me sip. I'm a sip now.
Well, being a Jimmy Butler fan, I won't be sipping anytime soon. But anyway, on to other news.
Oh God. Yeah. I'm yeah, I like the Texans in that whole division. Um, like you guys were saying, I mean, Danny Dimes, what are the Indianapolis Colts really gonna do? Is you know Richardson, is AR able to stay healthy and actually do anything this year? I mean, my questions with him rose when he had to call his own number and take a break because he was tired, bro. Like, you're a professional football player, dog. Like, that's what you get paid for.
The tap out.
Well, I mean, my
Straight
thing
up.
is, why did Danny Dimes get paid? What was his most successful year?
Saquon got him paid, right, Ja?
Exactly, exactly. And Common just bringing up the offensive line with the Colts, was it Common? I think he stepped away, but I believe he just brought up the offensive line with with the Colts. I mean, can Jonathan Taylor make Danny Dimes look
No,
good again?
no,
They,
because one,
Hey, yo, Paul. Oh, my bad.
it was
My
more
fault.
than
Sorry,
just
y'all.
Saquon. It was just something about that. Brian, I forgot how to say Dable, right? What
yeah,
Dable
Brian
did
Dayball.
is what Dable did is he literally played to Daniel Jones' strength, which isn't a lot. It isn't a lot, but he played to his strength, what he can do, and he ran it like that. Because they was playing the box majority of the time. It's faking the Saquon takeoff like that, and what he got paid for was being the quarterback and playing decent in the playoff game. That's what he got paid for that one playoff game.
But would you think that the Colts have a better receiving core right now than that Giants team had?
Well,
Oh
they
yeah,
got
for
Michael
sure.
Pittman, right? Michael Pittman, is he move you? Because I don't know if he really moves me.
Yo, he ain't never moved me.
Does he
Hey,
move you more
Southgate, what did you ask me?
lately?
What did you ask me about the
Hey,
line?
he's paid as the number one receiver, so he's forced to move me, mother. If he don't, that's the problem. He's paid
That's
like a
true,
top 10 wide receiver.
Yep.
and that's true, and that's true. You got to you want to get paid. You want to get paid to be the boss. You got to act like the boss.
Yeah, I'm not moved by Michael Pittman. I'm just saying.
Yeah, now I don't say I ain't moved by him either. Hey Southgate, what you asked me about the line?
Oh, was it the coach you were talking about had two of the best
Yeah, the
offensive
Colts, the
linemen?
Colts, the Colts, the Colts have one of the top lines, offensive lines in the NFL. They have two of the top 32 offensive tackles in the NFL, and Bernard, how you say Burnham, Raymond, and Brandon Smith. You know what I
So
mean? And then they added a few. Now mind you, these are all season acquisitions. So I mean, we know, like I said, I'm a line guy, so I know it takes at least 2 years, sometimes three if they're young, for a line to gel together and get that timing, everything with each other. So, you know, rosters on paper, they never move. I got to see what you do on the field.
What I think is the reason I have the Texans being the top team is what I saw in the playoffs, right? That Justin Herbert did not look like regular season Justin Herbert. That Texans defense is legit. That defense moves me.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it earlier, top 10 quarterbacks. Is Justin Herbert there? Well, they made Justin Herbert not look like a top 10 quarterback in that game.
Yep. Absolutely.
Counterpoint is
And
Justin also it could I also believe Justin Herbert just played his worst game of his NFL career.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and
Yeah, it
I
just seems
mean,
when he gets to them big games like that, he just fails. He falters really
Yeah,
bad.
weirdly, right? Anyway, it's very
That might
weird.
that might be a mental breakdown. Like that
Hmm.
might be. I mean, you say that it seems like every time the spotlight is on him, you know what I'm saying, that he never lives up to the challenge. That that could be something that he gonna do. You know what I'm saying, in his head.
and like this division, like this is kind of like, you know, I'm not gonna say the trash division, but dude, the Texans got in with 10 wins.
I gotta be honest.
Like
The Texans got in while losing multiple of the last couple of games. They were not good going
See
into the
now, see what
playoffs.
that.
I can't go by that. Now, look, I can't go by that because Pittsburgh got in with 10 wins.
I gotta be
So
honest with you.
10 wins
But
can
Pittsburgh
so
wasn't good at all. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
no, we wasn't. No, we weren't.
No.
I would call it the forgotten division. I think if they got stranded on a desert island, nobody would care.
It's a forgotten.
I mean, that's not insane to say. That's the crazy part. It's not insane to say.
You know,
Hey, yo, nah, you know what is funny though? You know what is funny? And this is just honest, like this is with the with the exception of Southgate mentioning them in the odds. Nobody brought up Jacksonville at all.
yeah. I mean,
Oh, because I don't understand. No one knows what Trevor Lawrence is going to be. So it's like the
I mean,
man
I think
is he hurt? Is he not hurt? He going to play, but is he hurt? Is he not hurt? I don't know.
the only person on Jacksonville that moves me is Brian Thomas.
yeah.
Dang, Trayvon Walker. I don't know how to say his name. He's the first overall pick a couple
Yeah,
years ago.
Trayvon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He moves me a little bit. It's like a little push.
A little push. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with Southgate. BTJ's the only movement I see over there.
Hey,
You
y'all
know,
don't believe in Josh Allen?
I mean,
Josh
yeah,
Hines
but
Allen.
Yeah,
yeah, Josh
my
Hines
fault,
Allen put
Josh
that right.
Hines Allen. My fault, Josh Hines Allen.
I mean, yeah,
Nah,
but
he wants to be called that because he's tired of you know, being compared to the other guy, even though they play different
You
positions.
see, the thing is, I mean, I think Hunter's a better cornerback than he is receiver, and I think we could all pretty much agree on that. And he's gonna play more receiver, and I think he should be playing more cornerback to make the team better.
Yeah, which is
Especially
weird,
when
right?
we
They
heard
need
that
more.
guaranteed money.
Yeah, and it's weird because
Yeah,
they need
but,
more help
but
at secondary than they do receivers. So it's kind of weird.
30 mil guaranteed without playing a
well,
snap.
Right. They
well,
said
well,
I heard on NFL Network that he was going to be playing both positions. I mean, both sides, 100%.
Yo, he's playing both positions, but he's listed as the fourth corner on the depth chart and the second receiver, which is
As
weird
of
because they
right
need.
now, well, like I said,
Yeah,
like what I seen, he's expected to play every snap.
which would be insane.
I
But
just can't see
uh,
that.
The owner said he believed, or maybe it was the GM, but he believes in him that he can do it. I
Okay,
mean,
I mean, I believe he can do it too. That don't mean he could do it. You know.
but this
right,
is my
right.
problem. But I mean, this is my problem with that. These college kids play a 10, maybe 11 game season, 12 now with the college playoffs if they make it. This kid has to do 17 games of this. Does he have
Oh,
the ice in the tank?
it's not only that the games are less spaced out. It's more games back to back. Not only if it's more games back to back, the playoffs are even. You know, the playoffs are closer. It's not like the drawn out playoffs you have in college where you get a huge rest. You don't get a real rest for the playoffs.
No, and it's not like he's playing lineman or something. He's playing a position where he has to run full force on every play.
Not only that, he has to get hit multiple times for possession from either side. If he's playing corner, he has to hit it, or he's playing receiver. He has to hit, which I don't think his body can take all that.
Oh yeah, and we can go back to his college career because I'm from Colorado, and when we were having CU versus CSU, and there was that questionable dirty hit on Travis Hunter, he was out of the game.
I mean, it was a legit dirty hit.
Oh,
So, like,
I'm not arguing that, but that one hit took him out of the game.
Yeah,
yeah, because he hurt his leg.
I remember during the season they asked Jamal Chase about it, and he was like, "Hell no, that's too much running."
Oh yeah, Jamal Chase said he'll never do it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said,
way too much running.
way too much running.
So I want to hit real quick again back. I know some of us were taking the Colts over the Texans on this. I had the Titans actually beating the Jags. I put the Titans in third and the Jags in fourth. Is that crazy of me that I
No,
think
I have the
that
Jazz. I have the Jazz second. So
you have the Jags second?
yeah, I think they're a better team than the other two, and the quarterback questions is too much for me to handle with the Colts, and the Titans are a mess.
So you think that the Jags are going to beat the Colts in a record this season?
Yes, because the Colts are a mess at quarterback, and the Titans are a mess in general.
Wow,
We
John,
can ha- we
this
can
guy,
hate on Trevor Lawrence, but the man is actually a good quarterback. He's the second best quarterback in that division. Only problem is if he's healthy or not. He played almost the entire season hurt and then got knocked out for good.
They lost Evan Ingram, right?
I, John, just how many games do you see them winning? I know you don't have a schedule in front of you, but just
I have all right. So if I'm saying, I'm
I'm
not
not gonna
saying
hold.
crazy. I think 11 is the most that anybody in that division will win. So I think the Texans will win 11 and the Jags will win like six. I mean 7. I don't see it being like a whole bunch of games.
Okay, so you pretty much think the Texans are gonna run away with the division.
Yeah, like they have been for the past 2 seasons. Yes,
Okay,
it's too many questions for the other teams for me to say, oh, they might win the division. It's too many questions,
No, I
especially
get
with
you.
the Titans. Though the whole team of the Titans is a question.
What Southgate, real quick. What did Vegas have? They had the Jags finishing third, right? What were they plus
well,
what?
no, they actually have them tied at plus 300 apiece
For
Okay,
second,
plus 300 with the Colts.
with the Colts and Jags. So pretty much they don't know who's like. They're saying they're both gonna be there neck and neck for second place.
Yeah, I agree because again, the Colts have the better team, but they have the biggest question mark that's quarterback. However, the Jacksonville Jaguars don't have that question
Yeah. So
and
they're pretty.
aren't my
Yeah,
fault.
John.
You can go. Not my
No,
fault. You go.
no. So pretty much what Vegas is saying is, if if the Colts had a solidified quarterback who they said was starting, they could probably adjust their odds around that. So they're kind of hanging them in the balance on not knowing who's going to start yet.
Okay, that's fair though, because we don't know what's going on with that quarterback position in Indy.
Um, y'all said it earlier, but he had re-injured his AC joint. But the same shoulder injury that he had, he re-injured it again. AR, he re-injured the same right shoulder.
AR5, yeah.
Yeah, he re-injured the same right shoulder, and the fact that Daniel Jones hasn't been named the starter yet, and AR hasn't practiced at all or been a part of the teams shows how bad Daniel Jones has been playing. I'm not saying based on my reports, but if they're not coming out saying he's the starter because he's looking good, what is he looking? You know, well, it's just interesting,
I think he's just looking like Daniel Jones.
which is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I got, like I said, I got the Texans to take that. My runner up, dude, I got to go with Tennessee as my runner up. I think the Colts are going to finish third, or if not tied for second. And Jacksonville's coming in at last. I just can't see them doing anything, man.
So, JB, you have Cam making that much of a difference.
Do what now?
He
The
said you
rookie.
have Cam making that much difference, like Cam.
Cam Ward.
Yeah,
This first year, no. I think he needs some time. To be honest, I think he's gonna need a year or two, probably at least two. I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of him in college, so
Well, and let's not underestimate that Tennessee defense. That Tennessee defense was pretty decent last year, and I'm not.
number two all year.
Yeah, let's keep it a buck. Like, let's not act like it was all on that defense. And one thing that I know is defense can keep you in games, and if Cam can be that difference maker, that's not a crazy take. I mean, it's a bold take, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's crazy. I have him finishing third in the division, but I don't think that's crazy.
I mean, listen, A
it's
Train.
too many questions for me to say they're gonna finish that like second. That's what I'm saying. There's too many questions.
Right. No, I get you.
Hey,
I mean, A
hey,
Train. Bo Nix didn't start off good the first 4 games, and our defense probably won the first 2 for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, a defense can keep you in games. And to me, that just moves the needle a little bit more than Jacksonville for me. That's why I have them winning 5 games. I have the Titans winning 5 games. I have the Jags winning 3 games because I think the Titans do have the better defense out of the two. And I also think that, dude, he could spark that offense a little bit. It doesn't jump off the
Yeah,
board on you, but
Yeah,
he
it
could
doesn't
spark
jump off
that
the board me
offense.
either.
There's a reason he got taken first overall. There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
I
hey,
you
mean,
are
you could
right.
also.
hey,
Hey, you can say
Trey,
that, but
hey, Trey,
Dylan Gabriel was taken above Shador. Shador has been playing better than him during
hey,
the course of
Trey.
all
I
this right
know
now.
by the eye test, it seems like they had a good defense, right? Dog, they were ranked 30th in points allowed.
But when the offense ain't producing and ain't giving you first
No,
downs, you're
no, I
constantly
know
on the
that.
field.
I know that when your back's against your wall the whole time, or if you're on the field, you know what I mean. If you're on the field 30 minutes, you know what I mean, 40 minutes. A game is 60 minutes. The defense should not be on the field 42 or 45 of those minutes.
That's
Yeah,
what
Who
I'm
you
well,
saying. You
playing against?
know,
The
you
Thunder?
know how it's done, Common. You know when
I
that
Well,
think
bro,
That's
defense
what
y'all,
I'm
gets
wait,
tired,
saying.
it
wait,
gets
hold on, hold
tired.
on.
Oh yeah.
I might sound like a homer. That's the shit we was doing to teams.
no. Listen, I got to be honest with you. Common, those stats might be a misconstrued because I believe there was at least 2 games where they got a 50 spot put up on them.
Yep.
But
That's what
but
I'm saying.
Detroit and someone else would have really
Oh
pulled
yeah,
out.
so that up the average. So
Yeah,
that up the
I mean,
average.
if you got 100 points in 2 games by like 2 teams that won 15 to 13 games, like top teams, that could up the average a lot.
You know
Yeah,
what
yo,
also will help?
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
also brings down the average though? Playing the Jacksonville Jaguars twice, playing the Houston
God.
Texans twice, and playing the Indianapolis Colts twice. That can also help your average as
But
well.
all these teams struggle in their division. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, the Texans are gonna run away with this shit. No, they end up losing to Jacksonville. And you're like,
Yep.
what the hell? What's going on here?
Bad teams. It's not crazy to say bad teams beat bad teams. You know.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. If I was a fan of one of these teams in this division, I don't even think I would watch football anymore.
I'd
It's
have been bandwagon somebody else.
You have
nah,
hope
nah,
if you're a
nah.
Texans fan, though. You have hope if you're a
Yeah,
Colts fan.
Texans is the only team that I
How do you
would.
have Colts as a Colts fan?
Wait, yeah, no, I would have more hope as a Texans a
No,
Colts.
see, no,
The
see. But
Colts
here's the
have won
thing.
a Super Bowl,
I
though.
mean, the
I mean,
You
Colts
not
are
right.
only
recently,
a
but
quarterback away. I
You
think.
right. But train the Colts have been in the same purgatory since Alec Andrew Luck retired. They
they
are
were
in the
eight and
limbo
nine.
of
They were 8-9 last year, right? So
I
they were
know.
no scrub team. Like they played the Broncos, and the Broncos game, you know, AR5 really kind of blew that game. But they were going neck and neck with us all game long,
Tra-
and we were a
Train what I'm
playoff team.
train
I
what I'm trying to explain to
Yo,
you is
motherfuckers
they
beat
are in a
us.
limbo. They're in limbo. They're in limbo, which means they're like they are in the same predicament the Pittsburgh, sorry, Colin, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are in. They're good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not good enough to
Oh,
do
they
anything
beat
out past
us.
that.
That's fair.
I
I'm trying
know,
to
but
tell
what
you,
I'm
they
saying
beat
is that
us.
I know, but the Colts are y'all on the Colts are in the same limbo. Y'all are good enough to make the playoffs, but y'all aren't good enough to do anything
Hey
outside of
yo,
making the playoffs.
listen. This is why I say when people bring up, oh, we made the playoffs, oh, we did this, oh, we did that. That is a loser's mentality, dog. Because dog, if just competing to make the playoffs makes you happy, dog, then that's a
Mm.
losing mentality. I compete
Yeah,
I compete to win championships, dog. So just making the playoffs, just making the playoffs does not move me at all. I mean, for any team, if you're not in the top conversation of the top 3 or 4 teams to represent your conference in the Super Bowl, that means you're not competing for a championship. That means you're competing for a spot in the playoffs. Competing for a spot in the playoffs, and that's your goal. Oh, we made the playoffs. Who cares? I don't even care if you won a playoff game. If you're not competing, if you're not if you're not making it to the AFC championship game, or at least making it to the divisional, and the divisional is a game that goes down, to the last play. It's not a blowout. If you're not competing in that fashion, then dog, your team is in purgatory. Point blank fair. If you're not competing in that fashion, if you want to hold your hat, if you want to hang your hat on, we made the playoffs. Your team is in purgatory. If your go-to is my team made the playoffs, you're in purgatory.
Well,
So let me ask you guys. I know you guys kind of went out and picked out like the winners and who's going to be out in that division and whatnot. Man, what are you guys' takes? I mean, do you guys see Lawrence doing anything this year? Do you see? I mean, what do you see? Do you see? With the Texans with Stroud, is he going to have another not a step back? Little. I wouldn't say it was literally a slump. Per se. I mean, we've covered that the last 2 days.
You
But I
can't cut
mean,
it on Saturday.
Yeah, like you got. What do you guys see? You
Oh
know,
yeah, I
in
totally agree
between.
with
I know
Price, man.
Southgate. In one of the episodes, you said,
I'm
you know,
going to
Daniel
say
Jones is your comeback player of the year. But I mean, realistically, I mean, if you see him doing and taking that job or having that job, how long does he hold on to it?
I think. I mean, he's gonna have a relatively easier schedule, finishing 8 and 9. So I think if he could reel off a couple wins, as long as they're winning, he will hold on to it.
The
I
prop.
I mean, if he's actually making the difference. I mean, they seen what Richardson could do. No one's seen what he could do on the Colts.
Oh, my
And
fault, JB, but
and
I just
I
want
just
to piggyback off of this conversation. I just want to join the conversation a bit. So, the thing is, though, do you think that you can go back to AR if you put Daniel Jones in? Like, there's a possibility you could go back because that'll be your second time benching him. Is there a way you go back?
I mean, the thing is, I would think they would have to start the season with AR, right? Even
I
if Dan
mean,
Jones beats him out, he's still their future. That's who they drafted. That's who they vested in.
Yep,
If
and they knew he's going to be a project too. So I
yeah,
mean, how long do they consider holding on to them, waiting on this guy to develop? I mean, I get it, 2-3 years, but realistically, teams nowadays they're able to go and plug somebody in and compete. Right now they got Joe Flacco and they got Danny Dimes and they got AR. I mean, what are they really doing?
to be honest with you, I don't know the whole story, and I don't know if he really went to his coach last year and said, "I'm tired, take me out of the game." I wouldn't even have had him on the team this year.
Facts.
me
I
They've
too.
invested a lot though, Southgate. I mean, they've
yeah,
invested a lot.
I mean, but not I'm hurt, not I'm bruised, not I can't walk. I mean, we've seen guys out there. Playing with major injuries, not wanting to come off. How could you not want to play because you're tired? That
Tapping out.
yeah. That just don't make sense in my brain. It just don't.
And I'll tell you, I just trust CJ Stroud more than any other quarterback in that division. I mean, who else? Who had the Colts? One of y'all had the Colts taking the division, right? Or did Chief say that too?
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
Chief did.
Yeah,
yeah, did yes, and I said I had the Colts. With the only team that can make a run at Houston.
right.
Maybe, but with the whole thing is with AR-15. Everyone's dream is to play football. Would you come out because you're tired?
The thing is, though, Southgate, you're looking at that this everyone's dream. This wasn't his dream. He just picked up football in like his senior year. At the end of his senior year, got a ride to Florida, played at Florida for like a year or two, and then entered the draft. He was literally drafted over a project alone. He doesn't. The problem is he doesn't have enough football reps, so he needs football reps. But he isn't ready to play in the NFL yet, so he needs to sit and wait. You're in a sticky situation with a guy like him. He should have stayed in college, or should yeah, he literally should have stayed in college.
A
Him
lot of
comes,
stay in college. We all know that.
huh?
I think a lot of players come out too early.
Yeah, he came out extremely too early. He got drafted because of his athleticism. Even still, you do remember it was a reach for them to even grab him as high as they did. No one thought he would go that high. Then you're talking about if you start him the start of the season and you pull him for Daniel Jones, it is it. It has to be over. There's no, it's over.
I have to ask you. Common, is Common there?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
on mute right now.
okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask him because he's the only other coach. Well, anyway, I guess it's pretty much Houston, right, all around.
Yep.
In my
She
book,
took the
yeah.
Colts.
Like I said, Houston and Tennessee, I think with their defense and I think Cam gives them a better chance to win. I think it's going to be a lot of the hype. So like I don't know. I do know that he was throwing more contested passes last year and whatnot, and that was the thing between him and Sanders. Sanders was doing a lot of check downs, versus throwing the ball deep. Just because he was drafted number 1 doesn't mean anything. I mean, look at Jamarcus Russell. That guy was drafted number 1.
No, I gotta be honest with you. This is the hardest division to speak about so far.
Yeah, I mean it's up in
And
the
it's
air. It's definitely up in the air, but they're top heavy to me.
I
I
want.
have the Texans and the Colts being somewhere top heavy because let's be real, the Jags won 4 games, the Titans won 3 games. So to me, it's top heavy in the AFC South.
yeah, the Jags won 4 games with a hurt quarterback though, so
Well, how many games did Lawrence actually miss?
So he played until the Eagles game, but he was hurt the entire season and it just got worse after the Eagles game to the point where he couldn't play. And he was
And
playing
what
through
was their record when he got hurt?
I don't think they won a single game after he got hurt.
When he got hurt.
Oh, I think they won like 2 to 3 games before he got hurt. I think they literally won like 1 game without him or didn't win a game at all.
So they had a winning record, or they were 3-3. They were three and
No, they were losing. They were losing. They were once he got hurt early in the season and wasn't the same, couldn't throw the ball, couldn't do anything, they were bad.
Sorry about that, guys. I got the granddaughter tonight.
no
No, you're
problem.
good.
Hey,
So
what you want to ask me, Southgate?
My question to you was, I mean, you're a coach. I mean, if you had a player come up to you and say, "Coach, I want to come out. I'm tired." I mean, how are you gonna
Well,
play?
listen. One, that's on the coaches. That's a coaching thing. See, because that means they're not on their players to be conditioned for them to do what they need for them to do on the football field. Right? That's one. I blame the coach on that. That's one. Number two, I coach kids, so I expect kids to say I'm tired. My kids don't get paid millions of dollars to play this game. As a professional, as a professional football player, no, you do not come back. If I was coaching a professional team and you told me you're tired, yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't know how I would react because I would be so shocked. But I know one thing for sure: it's going to be very hard for him to get that locker room back because the way they see it, you quit on us.
Yeah,
The problem is he never had the locker room to begin with.
yeah. So
Well,
that makes
well,
it
it's going to be even harder now. It's going to be even harder now. They're going to see it as you quit on us.
well, and it's hard when you had Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck in that building too. As an
Yeah, and they're
ownership
constant.
standpoint.
Man,
And then luck constantly comes around. So, it's like it is, it's kind of hard to be a quarterback when this man is always here being the most model citizen possible. And you just trying to live your life. Everybody's comparing you to him. It's kind of hard to live in no shadows, to be honest. Yeah.
that's some pretty good pregame advice to get, though.
Yeah. But you think he's listening to it? You see how cocky he is and arrogant he is?
Well,
Bro,
and
he only.
we know they're going to go through some ownership stuff too with
Oh, yeah,
Ursay.
because Ursay, no, his daughters took over.
Yeah, it's going to be the family, right?
Yeah, but the head daughter, what the NFL likes to do, they like to put a head person as like the owner
Yes.
instead of like a collective like the NBA. So his oldest daughter is the owner. So is the top owner.
Yeah.
Like she's the one who
So how
like
do they label
gets
Green
the final
Bay?
decision.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
How do they label Green? How do they do Green Bay?
There's a president. Green Bay has a president.
Okay,
They broke it
okay.
down and Green Bay has a president. I forgot the president's name, but there's a president. There's no owner.
Yeah, they have like a CEO or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
president,
Yeah,
CEO.
nah, that's why I was asking
yeah.
that because I know that
It's
you have
ran
a
more
part
so
of a
like a business
corporation
than
or
it
something
is
like that.
actually.
Green Bay is ran like a business. The city just loves this so much that the team actually wants to that the owners want to win, which is surprising because normally teams don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I was
So
asking. I know they're owned by like a by like a company, a corporation or something.
They're owned by the city.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then are they going to do like a little? I'm sure they'll do during the season. They're going to do a little remembrance of him because that's he was an owner for a long time with that team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yep.
So yeah, definitely, they definitely.
Oh, and to the Trevor Lawrence thing, right? It quote unquote they said he had an AC sprain after his hit, right? That
Yeah.
required surgery. But correct me if I'm wrong. Does the AC sprain does that require surgery on your left? Does that normally require surgery? No, right?
I don't know to the severity of the sprain. I mean,
Yeah, I think it depends on how serious it was.
Yeah,
sprains
because
like
I know he was hobbling like no, not literally hobbling because it wasn't leg injury, but he was dragging himself into those games. But they
Well,
were
and it's
2-8
not
with him.
it's not a good sign when your presumed starting quarterback is already questionable coming
Throughout
into you know
a
OTAs
rivalry
and all
game.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Steve Sarkisian, honestly, this might be an Eagles fan talking, but I think he's a good OC, not a good head coach. I don't think the guys in there actually like believe in him as a coach. I don't even think he should have stayed another season. You gave him more time than you gave Frank Reich, and Frank Reich made the playoffs.
you're right about that. You are right about that. Well, to be honest with you, I switch up topics. This division is actually starting to depress me.
It's getting depressing. I know.
Yeah, it's getting depressing in here.
Tight, tight. Uh,
I was going over some. Does anybody have any last words? Anyone?
do what now?
Only,
Does
only
anyone
last
have
words
any
I
last
got
words
is
before we get off the
only,
division?
yeah. Only
Uh,
last words I got is watch out for Indianapolis only because watch it say watch out for their offense only
all on,
because with a solid O line with a solid O line your quarterback does not have to be great. He does not. You can have an average quarterback with a solid O line and move forward.
hey, my last words is thank God I'm not a fan of the AFC South.
That's hilarious. Yo, so we are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Kick, and now Spotify. That was big.
let's go making
Yeah,
moves.
yeah. We're trying to get on you or Apple right now. I just gotta download it and post. So
So going over the division winners this year. Just all the. I mean today this year. I'm sorry,
yeah,
my brain's a little fried. It's hot in New York. Um, and there were two divisions that interest me, and it was the NFC Central and the NFC West. Which one would you guys like to talk about first?
I say the West.
West, yeah.
Yeah, West,
Okay.
West, West.
All right. So the West, you have the 49ers, which is kind of strange to me. The 49ers are the favorite to win the division.
What?
Yep, at plus 160. and the Rams are the second favorite at plus 175. Now,
Jeez.
now if you go to conference winner and Super Bowl winner, the Rams are ahead of the 49ers. So that kind of threw me for a loop. And then, of course, you have Arizona at plus 400 and then Seattle at plus 550. So I'm trying to figure out that whole 49er Ram thing. Because the numbers are very close. And I think the 49ers, I see the 49ers in more of a rebuild than anything.
Yeah, so what they're trying to say is that at the addition, or actually, the subtraction of Cup makes them better,
No, they might be
and
saying they
the
might
addition
also.
of Adams. I mean, what else did they
No,
really add?
no. In the 49ers, the subtraction of those defensive players and Debo and all
Mm,
those guys, they're trying to say makes the 49ers better.
I, mm,
No, I
Vegas
don't think
Vegas
so. I
knows
don't think so.
something, but
Yes.
I have the Niners winning 9 games when we were on the pod last week.
Yo, this is what I think
yeah,
they're looking at. I think they're looking at because they have a week. The Niners, I think, have a weaker schedule than the Rams.
Yeah, they have a
Right.
very favorable schedule.
Right. So because of that scheduling, they feel as though that the Niners have a better option of winning the division with their schedule than the Rams do. But however, they know the Rams are a better team, but they're also playing better competition. So that's why they got them favored that way. However, they do know that the Rams are better than San Fran as a team. That's why they have them going further in the playoffs than they do the Niners. See,
Yeah, I'm ready to start making some bets on that shit.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
see,
get
I
where you're
don't
going.
know.
I get where you're going. I get where you're going. Right. I get where you're going. I agree with what you're saying. This is all I'm gonna say. Right. The Niners. The subtraction of the Niners is far greater than anything in general. Like they considerably got worse. Their defense was tanked. They lost Debo and CMC with the right knee tendonitis. No one knows if he's even going to play a game this season. So the defense got worse. The offense got worse. Everything about that team has gotten worse. Why do you know? You know what I'm saying?
Now, Ja, I thought about the CMC thing, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up because I said, hey, is CMC going to be healthy this year? So then what I did was I went and looked at the um the the props for rushing yards, and of course they have Saquon and Henry. Then they have Jonathan Taylor, and then they have CMC as the favorite to have the fourth most rushing yards in the league.
No Jameer Gibbs, no Bijan.
No, CMC is over Bijan and Jameer to have more rushing yards. He's
That's
a
crazy.
So interesting enough, CMC actually participated in minicamp. He's actually participating in mandatory minicamp.
Is he actually maybe that healthy?
He's fully preparing in minicamp. But then again, he did that last season. So I guess the Vegas don't want to put him out there because he was fully healthy all the way up until the season was about to start. Then he's out randomly, and then he fucked over everybody who
No, no.
plays fantasy.
Like Vegas has him at fourth over Jameer and Bijan to have more rushing yards.
As of right now, he is viewed as healthy. So as long as he is healthy, they're going to view him to get more yards. B. John is going to be a lot of question marks with his offense in general, right? The offense, we don't know how that offense is going to run with a left-handed quarterback. We don't know how many touches B. John's going to get. Is different. Jameer, he shares carries, so we'll understand that. CMC, if he's fully healthy, he's one of the top three running backs in the league. So
I,
it makes sense that he's there
yeah.
because as of right now, you have to view him as fully healthy. As of right now, because he's participating and he's saying he's healthy.
Yeah,
And that might change. These might change come season start, obviously with injuries and how they perform. If there's any setbacks in OTAs and mini camp,
it's probably going to start changing during preseason and
Yeah.
everything. Once they see how people look. But I mean, as of right now, I mean, it could also be is that if somehow miraculously CMC is a very big household name. I mean, a lot of casuals really aren't paying attention to the injuries that Vegas don't want to get burnt if he
Yep.
play a full healthy season.
Yeah, that could be it too. I
You
got a
know,
question though. Where's Josh Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs is
Not top 10 is concerning.
they have Barkley Henry, Taylor McCaffrey, Bijan Gibbs, Ashton Genty, and then Josh Jacobs.
So Gentry is definitely there for the
So they're predicting Ashton Genty to rush for more yards than Josh Jacobs.
yeah, but that's also just a name value thing. It's a name value thing, so I'm not going to put too much stock into it. What I will put too much
I'd
stock
love to
into,
take
watch
that
it.
bet. I would love to take that bet.
Oh, fool, Josh Jacobs,
That's
bet?
a good
I,
one.
I I'd rather have Josh Jacobs than Ashton Genty. I don't care. I don't care
I
what
know.
he did in
I'll take that
college.
bet too.
You know what I mean? I don't care.
Mhm.
You're on the fucking I mean, you're on the Raiders. You know what I mean? So, like I would take an established Josh Jacobs who's actually been very productive, even with that crappy Raider team, than Ashton Genty that we don't know. He hasn't played an NFL snap.
Mhm. When healthy, Josh Jacobs is a top 7 running back in the league. When healthy,
Dude, I'd put him right up there in top 5.
I feel like
honestly, it's not crazy.
fact.
Huh?
I mean, could that be because the Green Bay wide receiver room is so packed?
I mean, but there's still no. The thing with the wide receiver room in Green Bay, there's no number one, right? So as long as there's no number one, you need a guy. You need a guy like Josh Jacobs to take the load, and so you find out who the number one guy is going to be in terms of receiver, so you can understand how to break down who gets the most targets and everything like that. Because again, it's still a system at the end of the day.
Southgate, you got any? If you guys are done with this subject, I just want to know, like, passing wise, what we got out there for some Vegas odds.
Sure, no problem. Hold on. Would you?
Because
I have. I can give you regular season, or I can give you quarterbacks to throw for 4,000 plus yards or 4,500 plus yards.
yeah, I want to know who's going to make that
Uh,
400, 4,000, 4,500 club.
Okay. You want to start with 4,500 or 4,000?
Let's do the top. Let's go.
4,500.
Yeah,
4,500. Okay. So the favorites for 4,500, of course, is Joe Burrow, and
make. Yep.
he's
Therefore,
second, of course, is Mahomes.
Okay.
Third, fourth, and fifth is kind of surprising to me. They have Jared Goff at third.
Wow.
They have Brock Purdy at fourth,
Whoa.
and they have Dak Prescott at fifth.
Wow. So Goff? No, no Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield falls in at six.
Okay, I was like, Baker's got to be somewhere in there. I
Oh,
get, I
have you
get the
said
Burrow.
Josh Allen yet?
Nope. After Baker, they have Stroud. Then they have Josh Allen.
Wow.
who's Josh Allen throwing the ball to get 4,500 yards?
And then you know who they have after Josh Allen, which is very surprising? Tua.
I'm still shocked over the Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
Honestly, two is not surprising.
So
Tua
they
It's not.
saying
healthy.
the odds. So they saying the odds of Lamar throwing for 4,900 again is not likely.
Yeah, it was just an anomaly, apparently.
I mean, let's put it this way:
That's
you
what they're saying.
listen. If you bet $100 on Mahomes to throw for 4,500 yards,
Yeah.
you win $330. if you bet $100 on Brock Purdy, you win $500. It's $160 difference. It's not
Wow.
No.
a difference.
What
All I'm
about
saying is,
what if I put $100 on Lamar?
Lamar,
Yeah, is Lamar not even like close to them?
actually, no. Bo Nix has better odds than Lamar.
Wow.
Wow.
Lamar is plus 1,300, the same odds as Michael Penix.
What?
Yep.
so wait,
That's
is Michael
crazy.
Penix more than? Obviously, we both know he's not going to do it. But is Michael Penix more than Jalen?
I'll tell you right now.
Just go ahead and put it up.
This is crazy.
Actually,
Go ahead, Southgate.
actually, you got Michael Penix, Kyle Murray, Sam Donald, Drake May, Bryce Young, and then Jalen.
Bryce Young
Shout out to
over
those guys.
Jalen.
Shout out
Yeah,
to Bryce Young, my brother.
actually,
Hey
Jalen.
man,
I mean, Jalen Hurts is the fourth to last quarterback on the list.
well, you'll make a lot of money if he actually do that. You bet $100 on him. I don't
And
think he would
after
though, but
Jalen Hurts, it's Cam Ward, Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Fields.
Wow.
yeah, all right, that's kind of disrespectful to put Jalen Hurts' name next to Justin Fields. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm gonna digress and move on to
Yeah, that's
something else.
crazy.
They got Caleb Williams with a better chance to throw for 4,500 yards than Lamar Jackson and Bo Nix.
But to be fair
Wow.
though, they're projecting his receivers to be better than theirs.
Yep.
So
I
yo,
want to
I think
hear. All right, if we can move on, I want to hear this. The next tier down.
4,000 yards.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes.
It's going to be Burrow, Mahomes, Purdy, and Goff again. But
Wow.
then they move up into 5. They bounce C.J. Stroud up over Baker and Dak. And then Josh Allen, Stafford, Tua, Trevor.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
So they got Purdy as being some type of
Do we
like,
not know something? They got the Niners. They got the Niners winning the division, and then they also have Brock Purdy up there in the top 5 for 4,500 yards and 4,000 yards.
All right,
yeah,
so Brock Purdy just got paid, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And look at teams who typically pay their quarterbacks, right? What typically they do is they put a lot more on the quarterback's plate, right? So
yeah,
now them doing this with Brock Purdy is confusing me with the CMC thing. Because what it's looking like is they're projecting Brock Purdy to throw the ball a whole lot more because they paid him, which means now they're going to try to show him like an all pro, which most teams try to do. It happened with um it happened with what's his name? What team is that? Tua. They did it with Tua, even though he didn't get to fully show it. But you got Jordan
right.
Love. Jordan Love. You look at all the quarterbacks who get paid, they put a lot more on their plate. They did it in a different way with Lamar and Jalen. A different way it's different with every quarterback. How they did it in a different way with Patrick Mahomes. If I'm not mistaken, Patrick Mahomes does hot routes and stuff, right? He does checks and everything, JB. He does the checks for the team, right? The offense.
But yeah,
Yep.
do they know something we don't? Like,
You know
He
something
has elite receivers,
I
I
just
guess.
looked
I
at
don't know.
because A Train, I went over and I looked at so now if they got Purdy for throwing all these yards, where who's the number one receiver over there?
it's Juwan Jennings or Ricky
They
Purcell.
they don't have one San Francisco receiver on the list until after 20, and it's George Kittle.
Okay, yeah, they got Kittle and they got Ayuk
But,
eventually coming back.
but now this is what I'm saying is they have CMC as the number 4 rusher. They don't put running backs in the receiving category.
Okay.
So they must think CMC is really 100% healthy.
And usually Vegas knows something. So This has really thrown me off because I didn't
because
even I didn't
Purdy,
even see him being a 10-win team. Like,
that's what I'm saying. They have Purdy to throw for all these yards, and they have CMC, as number 4 rusher, but they don't have any of his receivers up there to catch the yards.
so CMC is going to ball out next season, is what
That's
Vegas
pretty
thinks.
much what Vegas is saying.
Man, man. Maybe CMC might be a sleeper in fantasy drafts.
That's what I'm thinking.
Southgate, can you do me a favor and look at MVP odds?
Let me see if they got that. Hold on.
Because what did we hit on? We hit on passing. We hit on division winners. We hit on
Russian
rushing
leader.
leaders. Yeah, so we can hit on a few more categories. I feel like, and because I am blown away by this San Francisco Glaze. I see them being competing for the division and possibly making the playoffs. But dude, some of these are kind of blowing my mind.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I want to
They
correct
do not
myself.
have MVP odds up yet.
Oh,
I just want
so
to
do they
yo, I
have?
want to correct
Oh,
myself. I want to correct myself. 'Cause I said 4,900 because he rushed for 900, and that's where I got the 9 at. He only threw for 4,100.
Okay,
So that wasn't a 9. So they're looking at that. They're looking at that 41 as his ceiling.
right.
so you
What else
thinking
you got,
Purdy?
Southgate?
Purdy
What
hasn't
else?
even gotten there. So like
We could touch on the rookies. We could touch on the week 1 lines. We could touch more on the season. Hold on, wait. Let me see season leaders. That's just passing yards. That's just passing rushing. That's what.
okay,
Oh,
good shit.
So
Nigga,
let's do rookies because I'm really interested on this rookie one too.
okay. The rookies. What they have here? They have a couple props. Um, all the props are about Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter.
Anything on Golden?
Travis Hunter to record 1,000 yards receiving is only plus $230.
What
Okay.
about Jensen? They got on Jensen.
Yes, they got Genty. Hold on. Genty's over under rushing yards is 1,075.
I'd take the over on that.
And Travis Hunter's
wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
Genty's over under rushing yards is 1,075.
I would take the under on that, but 1,075,
Yes, one
and they
thousand.
think he'll have more yards than Josh Jacobs.
What happened?
And by the Russian thing, it says they think he'll have more yards than Josh Jacobs, which means they think Josh Jacobs will have less than 1,075 yards.
Yes, pretty much. They
That's
have Travis Hunter under over receiving yards 750, and they have McMillan under over receiving yards 825.
I just want to hit on this real quick, Southgate. Is there anything, because you've been studying this for a minute, is there anything that really stands out to you that would be like a Southgate lock to you that really pops out?
Well, I was looking at this is what I was looking at that was throwing me off. Hold on, let me bring it up.
Because I know you do good in the betting aspect, and I just wanted to know if there's anything that really stands out to you. Because I think, like, if you were to throw in a bet or a parlay now, you definitely are making more money now before come season start, right?
They kind of what I've learned is what Vegas is telling you is that the Bengals are going to be some sort of problem this year. Like, they're not going to be the regular Bengals struggling to make the playoffs. That the Bengals are going to come out firing.
Wow. Okay. So
That's what.
usually they start slow.
Yes, that's what Vegas is telling me. Also, hold on. What was the other thing I was looking at? Let me see.
So they think that they've improved that much on defense, and they're going to come
Yeah,
out. firing hot.
Yes, and they're also saying that pretty much Dallas, Dallas, wherever you want to put this, is going to be just about as good as the Bears or Arizona.
Okay, I can see that. That's not crazy to me.
Okay, that's where they have them. And the other one I want to touch on was this this NFC North. You got Detroit at plus 145. You got the Packers and the Vikings at both plus 250. And then you have the Bears at plus 550.
So they think the Lions are definitely going to win the division.
Well,
They
not
think
definitely because they're plus money. Like
right, but
they,
the Bears are definitely coming in last.
yes. So
Wow.
they're
Okay.
saying the Packers or Vikings that it's pretty much like with the Jags and Colts. They don't know what's going to happen there. But Houston, they had winning the division, no problem. The Lions being plus so much money coming off a 15-win season, they're saying it's going to take a major step back.
So okay, so the Vegas is thinking they're definitely not winning 15.
Yes.
Okay, because Vegas tells us a lot. That's the one thing I've learned is Vegas. They can be wrong, but most of the time they know what's going on.
So, like, just to give an example, if you look at the AFC North, they have Baltimore, of course, at minus 145, and then they have the Bengals at plus 200. Now, if you look at the NFC East, they have the Eagles at minus 140, of course, and they have the Redskins at plus 200. Then,
That is too close. That is too close.
if you want to go to third place teams, it drops Pittsburgh down to plus 600 and Dallas down to plus 600.
So
And
they
then
think
if you
that Dallas and Pittsburgh are gonna
be
not
like
be
similar teams,
contender. They're gonna be yeah.
they're going to be 7-8 win teams pretty much.
That's crazy to me.
Yep.
I mean, I know Dallas has a tough division and so do the Steelers, but Steelers normally can win, 8 to 10
Yeah.
games. Seven Cowboys.
Yeah, no, I thought
Dallas
that.
does have a tough schedule.
So, yeah, that was, you know, definitely a little strange to me.
So let me ask you, Southgate, if you're gonna try to throw some money down on this, is there anything that really, really stands out to you? The
Well,
Bengals, you think?
I actually put together something if you want to do all the divisions, say. Here we go with the easy ones: Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Right?
Yeah.
We could all pretty much say those guys will pretty much win their division. Take a shot with Green Bay and the Rams. You think that's a crazy shot with either one of those teams?
No, I definitely do not think that because I think Green Bay is a good team, and I think like you said last week, Southgate, or I don't know when you said it, but the Rams are one of your Super Bowl favorites, right, from the
Yeah,
NFC.
yeah.
So I like that. I like that.
So I'm saying is even I mean if you want to make it a little crazier, you can take the Chiefs out and take a shot with the Chargers and the Broncos.
Right, and
I'm,
I like
I'm
that.
going with the Chiefs as a favorite. $100 bill on that will win you 27,000,
Wow,
and
that one stands out to me. That moves me right there.
That's Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Philly, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Green Bay, and the Rams.
Is that is there any? Do you guys have any input on that? Is there anything that stands out to you out of what Southgate just ran down, or do you see that?
I'm sitting here thinking,
I was thinking, I could see all the stuff that he was saying. To be
I mean,
honest,
if you guys
the
got
only
something
thing that
I should.
the only thing that he said that interested me was the Bengals starting off. That they think the Bengals will start off hot. I don't. I think Zach Taylor finally will get
No,
fired
that's
up by the end
fine.
of the season.
Listen, I still gave Baltimore the division. But if you got someone you think I should take out as a division winner, let me know.
No, I think you're good.
Kansas City is a little worrisome because I don't know. That's just my opinion, but they're the safe bet. That's why Vegas has it that way.
Yeah, so I put in the safe bet. But I mean, if you wanted to get, groovy and put in the Chargers or Denver, that'll raise that bet from 28,000 to 38,000.
Wow, that moves me.
yeah, I could definitely use that. But
Yeah,
let me see. I mean, I don't see nobody you should move. I don't see anybody. I mean, mind you now, going off of paper, 'cause all we're doing now is going off of paper, right? And you know I hate going off of paper. but yeah, I don't see nobody you should move.
I mean,
Because I'm be honest with you, nobody else moved because nobody else moved me in those divisions. However, yeah, nah. Cause I still, hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care if Detroit didn't lose those coaches. I still think that Green Bay was going to leapfrog them and take the division this year.
now the only thing you could do is if you wanna, if you think JJ McCarthy could possibly do anything. Which what I'm looking at is they got to make the Super Bowl. They got the Packers and the Vikings both at the same odds with the Bengals and the 49ers.
it's because that team's so stacked or that division's so stacked, and they don't know. Vegas don't even know who they want to
Yeah.
put there.
So they actually have Washington, the 49ers, the Bengals, the Vikings, and the Packers all the same odds to make the Super Bowl.
Okay,
Say those teams again, Southgate.
The Packers, the Vikings, the Bengals, the 49ers, and the Redskins. Well, Commanders, I'm sorry, I'm old.
man, and those I feel like those could be toss ups because you don't know that they're a definite shoe in.
Yep.
No, see, the thing that intrigues me is Jordan Love is an established starting quarterback, but what's the name is a rookie,
JJ.
JJ. Well, not a rookie; it'll be his first starting year.
Yeah.
And why that stuck out is, I mean, are they going off of the talent of the other talent
I
on the
think
team?
they're
Are they
just
going off
telling
of
you,
JJ? Are they going off of JJ? Like, I'm trying to figure out how can they put them in the
no,
same category as Green Bay with the unsure rookie quarterback.
I think they're just telling you that the totality of the Vikings all around team is that much better than pretty much a lot of teams.
And I feel like the Vikings did have a sneaky off season. And I think that if JJ McCarthy can be that guy, I think the Vikings can definitely do what they did last year. But we don't know. That's the biggest question mark to me is what are we going to get out of him?
Sam Darnold, and I say Sam Darnold is no matter if you got those two outside as your one, your X and your Y, you're going to get a productive quarterback. He might
Okay,
not
but
be good, but it's going to be he's going to be productive, very productive.
okay,
Aaron Jones toting the rock. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Hawkinson
very.
back healthy.
I think
Hmm.
what they're telling you is if you get a Jaden Daniels type season out of him, they could win the Super Bowl.
Wow, that's bold.
That's
They
what
have
Vegas
the
is pretty high on the Vikings.
team too.
Oh yeah, they do on paper, like you
Even
said.
though
Common on paper.
their defense though, player like you talking about
On
the guys
paper.
on their defense isn't
because listen, after those teams I
godly.
just named, it goes Texans, Broncos, Bucks, and then there's a complete drop off.
Wow. Okay, that's all right.
And the drop off after that is like a complete drop off, and money wise. The drop off after that goes to Bears, Cowboys, Arizona, Pittsburgh, Falcons, Seattle, etc.
Yeah, I don't feel confident in
Patriots.
any of those. That's why
Yeah,
Vegas had that fall off because I don't trust any of those teams.
yes.
Not a nair nutter.
Damn,
Don't
Southgate.
nobody say that nair nutter like you say that nair nutter.
I'm telling you right now, the Commanders will not repeat the same season. They will be worse.
But what I see right now as the best bet to take a shot with a team to win the Super Bowl, if you want to put $250 down on a team, you could make $6,000 if the Rams win the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's Southgate's lock right there. I could tell right now.
I mean, how could it not be worth a shot, Sean McVay?
I like that. I do. That's out of everything you've said, that looks the most promising to me. Sounds the most promising because they have
I
the
ain't gonna lie.
Niners dominating.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like the division winners. I like the division winners. The, the division winner
I think the
names
only
you
thing
wrote
that
out.
can
I
stop
like
the
that too.
division winner parlay is an injury.
Yep.
Is if a Josh Allen or somebody like that got hurt, and still Buffalo still might win that division. It's so bad, but
I personally have an issue with the 49ers. Sorry to jump in.
No, hit on it,
I
Chief. Like me,
I
I'm saying the same thing, Chief.
I
it's,
I, I
it's
just think they're disrespecting the Rams personally.
no.
Like
I had the Rams to win the division. I'm saying Vegas is
oh
expecting
yeah,
the
no, I'm saying with
Rams.
Vegas. I think with
Yeah,
Vegas, I think that's the biggest issue. Is I have no idea what Kool-Aid they're drinking in Vegas over there, but as far as the as far as the 49ers go, I don't see it. That team don't move me.
but Chiefs. What I don't understand is how do they have Brock Purdy as the number 3 quarterback to throw over 4,000 yards, but none of his receivers are on the list.
They have him there because they seen the body of work they did. I'm not going to discredit the body of work the man's put down. He's thrown for the yards. He's actually, I mean, first season NFC title appearance, second season Super Bowl appearance, and then last year he was stuck with a few guys who were injured. So I get where the hype is coming from, but but Vegas is putting an awful lot on that man's shoulders.
Yep. I personally don't see the Brock Purdy thing. I
He
mean,
was very like seriously worse from the year before. He threw for 4,000 yards in 2023, and last season he threw more interceptions, less touchdowns, and less yards. But the
unless
thing with
Vegas
Brock Purdy,
telling us.
Southgate and Chief, the whole thing with Brock Purdy is simply this: he plays for the 49ers. The 49ers are one of the NFL's top teams in terms of merchandise sales and all this stuff. People who barely watch football know a couple of people. So they're going to pick Brock Purdy because he's on the Niners. They know the Niners. They know the quarterback. They're going to pick Dak
But
because they know the Cowboys. They
but
know the
Ja,
quarterback.
I'm going to be real with you though. Vegas is most likely never wrong. The age-old saying about sports betting is the house always wins.
Yep. That's why I'm like, dude, is there something going on that we don't know? Are the 49ers overlooked right now? Are we
I'm
sleeping on the Niners? Because I know their schedule is easy, but For
That's
Vegas to say
probably
all
why they
this,
have such high odds, is because the schedule's the eighth easiest schedule in the league.
That is true, Chief. That is another thing. And on top of that, think about this, A-Train. People see the 49ers. 9 times out of 10, what are they going to do? Pick the 49ers. So what did Vegas do? Boost the odds of the 49ers. You have to spend more money to make more money, and therefore alluding to you losing your money. If you think about it like that,
yep,
house always wins.
yep.
I mean, there's a couple things I'm looking here. Like, does anybody think that, let's just say, that the Tennessee Titans have any shot of winning that division?
No, I don't.
No. I mean, it's almost like earlier, like you said with the Bears. There, you said they were plus 540.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Now, do you think? Let me give you another team. Hold on.
I'd take the Titans winning their division over the Bears winning their division, though. I definitely
Do you
would.
think the Giants would have a better chance of winning their division than the Titans?
No,
Yes,
I
even
don't.
though both when I express this, both is a hell fucking no. Neither one of them will win. But I think the Giants' defense is just physically and just overall better than the Titans' whole roster. Might be
Okay.
a bias. It might be an NFC East opinion, but that's just
All
Yeah,
right.
you
Well,
watch them every year, so
all right. So now you look at the Titans.
Dexter Lawrence is the best defensive tackle in the league.
So let me explain to you how bad the AFC South is, okay, compared to the NFC East. That the Titans are only plus $750 to win their division. And the Giants, who I think will probably have a better record than the Titans, are plus 2,800 to win their division.
wow, that's crazy. That's crazy odds. But I think
But the
that tells us
Giants,
a lot.
but the
And
Giants odds, the way
I'm
they
giving
are,
you
honestly, the
better.
Giants odds are that way because two of their four teams, respectively, were in the NFC title game last year.
So now we can say, what do you think one of the toughest divisions in football is? The AFC West?
Yeah,
So you think the Raiders have any shot of winning that division?
I
No,
say hell no.
So they
no,
should
that's a big
get
hell
about
no for
the
me.
same thing as the Giants, right?
Yeah,
They're only plus 1,200. So the Giants are double the money.
double the money.
That that's just crazy to me.
Yeah,
The wheels are spinning right now. Like I'm speechless on some of this.
yep.
I just don't know what the Raiders have done. I can see the Giants taking a step forward. I don't know. I guess I can see the Raiders taking a step forward, but that division is tough.
Okay. Let's just say some sick, strange reason Josh Allen got hurt.
Right.
The Jets are plus 1,600 to win their division, right?
Okay.
What are the Patriots at?
They're plus 500. So now we agree that the Jets are not a good team, right? Do we think the Jets are better
Agreed.
than the Saints?
I
Yes,
do.
Jets are better than the Saints.
I
Saints
Okay.
do.
are the worst team in the league.
Okay. The Saints are only plus 900 to win their division.
But overall, that
Jets are
division
plus
is just that.
1,600 to win their division, right?
But
Damn.
but that's the thing though, is that the Saints are the reason why their odds are lower is because that division, in my opinion, is a lot more wide open than most.
So that would make more sense, yeah, because it
No,
is, like she says.
on that. But let's just say for some reason Josh Allen's out for the season. The NFC East is wide open. I mean, the AFC East is wide open.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
Which
why,
isn't crazy, especially the way that he plays.
yeah, the way he runs the ball and everything.
Like I said, I have them. I have New England stealing that division in Week 18. So
That's a wild take, Chief.
I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on it.
All right, we'll hit back on this. Like you said, we'll keep receipts on that one.
You know what that would do to my parlay if I switch Buffalo to New England?
What's that?
What?
I'll tell you right now. It would take it from winning 28 to winning 48,000.
From 28,000 to 48,000.
Yep.
Gosh, man, I don't know how you can be confident with that
Yo,
though.
Chief.
Yeah.
Just letting you know now, I'm placing that bet. So if I lose, it's all on you.
Oh, but what I put that bet in for the one for 28. I put Chiefs in for 50. It's all football season,
That's crazy.
and it'll still win 28. So now you got New England or Buffalo.
Okay.
Now, what if the Jets win?
Oh, I mean, look,
That would be the real legit most unlucky bad beat ever.
if the Jets won the division,
Yeah, Common, you're muted.
No, I was saying I wasn't trying to talk yet. I was just sitting here laughing, talking to myself like, "Yo, you put that in, that's over 100 racks."
Yep.
100 racks.
I bet it's over 100 racks if you add the Jets in there.
yeah, it's about 70.
Might as well put the whole division and just call it a day.
Hey, Southgate, just put it in and give me 30, brother.
Right.
You know what?
Hey, I'm out to bet on the whole. Listen, I'm out to bet on the whole AFC South to win the Super Bowl.
Tell you what, if I just take the East out of my division, it still wins 22,000.
$22,000.
Oh, if
17.
you did away with the East altogether.
Do away with the East.
Yeah. Crazy. I don't know. Vegas is usually
How do
right.
the
Like you
odds
said,
are?
the house don't lose.
Has there been any recent NFL like moves besides the Jair and what was it, Jair and Nick Chubb? There's never been nothing else, right? No movement.
I haven't seen anything in the past couple of
It's
days.
been a while.
I
It's
haven't
been
seen.
J.K. Dobbins to Denver.
Oh yeah, JK too.
And yet,
Well, which that's
yeah,
just a veteran presence. That's not going to be worth any production.
Right.
Jair,
I get you.
No, he's got to play.
Jair to
Yeah.
Baltimore
Well,
was
he's going to play,
right?
but I'm telling you, he just has the repeated history of not staying healthy, which is why he's going to be more beneficial in that running backs room than on the field, personally.
Well, and it's going to be a committee, so I mean, he's not going to be a workhorse, anyways.
Well, hey, if that can save him, then by all means.
That's how I see it, anyways. Being a Broncos fan.
I
So
can see him coming in at goal line stances.
Because he was no bum last year. He did get hurt, but he was not a bum. There was a lot of running backs that didn't perform as well as he did.
Before he got hurt, they were a top 5 rushing offense in the league.
And let's not pretend like
He
since we were
wasn't even a
already
bum,
hating
and
on that division.
I don't even call him a bum in Baltimore. It's the fact of the man just couldn't stay healthy.
We're in a physical league.
Your best ability is your availability.
Unless you're Zion Wilson.
oh wow, I just found something
Please
else.
don't.
Actually, I just found yardage on seasons for running backs.
Okay, I'm interested.
What do you want? They got goes 1,000 yards, 1,250, 1,500, 2,000.
Well, I think that we already know that 2,000 mark is going to be Saquon and Henry, right?
Yeah, which you can make nice money if either one of them hit it.
That's asking a lot, though. Okay, next step down's what, 17?
1,500.
1,500? All right, who do we obviously got the two top backs.
Yep. Then you got Jonathan Taylor, Bijan, Genty, and Gibbs.
Man, they're high on Genty.
Where's
Actually,
Pacheco
wait,
at?
wait,
That's a
wait.
name grab. They
Actually,
just want you to
Jesse and
bet on him.
Gibbs have the same odds. I apologize.
They just want you to bet on him. They just want you to bet on him because it's his name. That's easy money to take.
And pretty much right under them is, I mean, it's only a $50 difference. Is Josh Jacobs.
See, I like that better than Genty.
Where's
So
Pacheco? Where's Isaiah Pacheco at?
don't ask that, Chief. I don't even think his name might be up there.
Well, it's hard because he was hurt. He got hurt after week 3 last year.
Chief,
So,
they have
yeah,
Lamar Jackson before Isaiah Pacheco.
Jesus Christ.
I think Lamar has actually had more rushing yards than him in the past 2 seasons. Let me fact check that real quick.
Actually, they have one, two, three, four, five quarterbacks. They're saying they can rush for 1,500 yards next season.
15 is not crazy anymore, I feel like.
Yeah, Lamar has actually had more than him over the past 3 seasons. That's crazy.
See, but this is what I mean. In the overall rushing yards, they had McCaffrey at what, 3, 4?
Yeah.
Now, when we pick up to 1,500 yards rushing, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's 10th on the list.
Oh no.
So what is up with this list? I don't understand.
Yeah, they try to mind fuck you.
Just told you it's a money grab. They don't think CMC is going to have that season. They just put him there for you to pick him.
So right now, Bucky Irving had 1,200 yards last year. Do you think he could rush for 1,500?
Possibly. It's
Easy.
not a stretch.
I think that's and I don't think it's a stretch. I think he definitely can do it because he wasn't the starting running back last year. He was the number 2 and still went for 1,200.
It's him and Kyron Williams tied for 900, plus 900. Then it goes to CMC at 12,
Uh,
and then there's a huge jump, and it's Joe
and
Mixon, Kenneth Walker,
mhm.
Chase Brown.
and that
Yeah, I
adds
have
to
a
your
problem with Geno.
deal with the 49ers of all the hype. Keep in mind, just trying to put a tinfoil hat on for 2 seconds. It's a odd number year. Christian McCaffrey performs well in odd number years.
Trusting Bucky before Kyron.
I have one huge problem with Kyron.
What's that?
Fumbles. The man
Yeah.
can't hold on to a loaf of bread. And it feels like every time I watch a Rams game, he's fumbling.
How many rushing yards did Lamar Jackson have last year?
915. 915.
915. It's amazing. They got him for more rushing yards than Brian Robinson.
Wow.
That's not crazy to say.
I think you're gonna have to. They're gonna. I think Lamar's gonna take a step back on the rushing. He is getting older.
They just paid the receivers. They went and got Hopkins.
But you know my stance on Hopkins.
Yeah, don't get Chiefs started on that.
It's more or less of. It, I'm not saying he wasn't worth it or anything else because we essentially pick swapped for L'Jarius Sneed, so it kind of worked out in our favor.
I'm actually gonna read you guys some running backs. Tell me if you think they can get 1,000 yards.
Hold on. I keep forgetting Bijan had 1,400 yards last season. It doesn't feel like it. The way the Falcons team was, it doesn't feel like he had that.
Right.
It was very quiet. It was very quiet.
Yeah, it was very quiet. Like,
You let me know if you think these guys can get 1,000 yards rushing. Saquon had S, right?
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
If he
Yes.
stays
that's
healthy,
it. It's not. Yeah, he has to be healthy.
All right, Bijan,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Gibbs,
Yes.
no,
Josh Jacobs,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
Bucky Irving,
Yes.
Yes.
Williams on the Rams.
No.
nah.
Okay,
I think he'll fall
McCaffrey.
just short.
They got too much wide receiver help with the Rams for him to
I say
have
a no
that
on
much production.
McCaffrey. That's the scariest one so far.
Okay, Joe Mixon.
They just got Chubb, so I'm gonna say yes, because it's a dual threat situation there.
It's starting to get questionable now.
Then it
The
falls
reason
off.
why I'm saying yes is because I feel like with the dual threat of the being able to put Chubb in, he'll stay healthy.
All right, then it
I would
falls
not
off.
be
That's why I
comfortable with
said
that
no.
though.
But that's why I said no to give. That's why I said no to give because of the dual back running system. It's going to take too many
I
reps from him.
just
Yeah, and
I just think
Gibbs went crazy after Montgomery got hurt. He did go
and
crazy.
I also think honestly, I just think Detroit's going to take a step back.
So then it falls down. Dennis Walker, Chase Brown, or Tony Pollard.
No, yes,
No,
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 no.
no.
I go no
Whoa,
no as
whoa,
well.
whoa, whoa,
Common.
whoa! Chase Brown almost had 1,000. He wasn't the starting back.
I'm gonna go. No,
No,
I'm gonna
no,
go.
no, no,
I'll say
no.
yes to Chase Brown, no to the rest.
Son
My
of
Yeah,
a
boy,
bitch.
Chase
hold
Brown's
on,
the
hold on,
only one
hold on,
that
hold
has a
on.
shot, in my opinion.
Common, why you feel like Chase Brown can't?
They don't let you parlay it. Mother bastards.
Common, why you feel like Chase Brown don't
What's
got a
up?
chance?
Because I just don't see it. I don't see his line. I don't see his line. His line doesn't move. See, a lot of
Oh,
it
they'll let
depends on your line.
parlay
That
A lot
five.
of it depends on your line,
that
dog.
that team has had too many problems, and
I get
you
what
can
you're saying.
you can rob Peter to pay Paul as much as you want, but I think it's finally time for them to show their true colors.
I've been seeing a lot
Okay.
of Chase Brown being a sleeper in fantasy at running back, so I don't think that's too crazy.
He'll be a sleeper, but at the same time, as far as all the yardage, no, he's gonna be your
Yeah,
main
but he's
flex
gonna
guy.
yo. He does. I guarantee you, everything you saw of him as sleeper is in the flex, right? Not him starting.
No, you
Vegas
wouldn't
thinks
have him
that the
as.
Bengals are going to be good, so I'm a little moved
Yeah.
by that.
So all I'm gonna say is he wasn't the starter running back. He almost had 1,000 yards.
Chase Brown
Behind that
moves me a little
horrid
bit.
offensive line.
This year, I'm not going to lie, Chase Brown does move me a little bit.
Yep, the brother is Sidney Brown.
All right,
Yo,
1,500.
I'm 6'4". I'm 6'4", 280 pounds. Takes more to move me.
I like that comment.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That
1,500
was
yards.
pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yo, Common. He played
Yeah.
in 16 games. He started in 10. He had 990 yards
And I'm
rushing.
and I'm 6 foot tall, same weight.
Okay.
Still
Okay.
takes a
All
little
right.
bit to move me.
Hold on. Now break it down. He
Maybe it's
played
because
in
I'm five.
He
16
averaged.
games.
He
Maybe it's
started
because
in
I'm
only
five
10.
nine
Hold
and
on.
buck
Hold on.
85. I don't
Hold
know.
on. Now listen. 16 games. 900 and what?
16 games, 990 yards.
990 yards, 16 games. So what? You thinking that one last game he's gonna get what 400,
All
500
I'm saying,
yards?
if he started one extra game, this man would have had 1,000. All he had to do was start one game, and one extra game, he'd have had 1,000.
He could have had 1,000. We said 1,400. The question is 1,400.
It was. I thought. Okay, and
Yeah,
you
it was
telling me right? And look,
1,400,
look, look,
brother.
look. He played 16 games, right? That means he didn't play the full 18. I mean, full 17. He missed one, right? Not only did he miss one, he only started in 10, which means the first six, he wasn't even. He wasn't their guy. They barely was going to him, and then
Yeah.
they started.
Hey,
They
yo,
made
hey,
him the
yo, hold on,
guy.
hold on, hold on. I need you to understand something, John. You do know that when they say starter, you do know that just means the personnel that's on the field first play of the game. That means the personnel that's on the field on first down on offense. That's
That's
all that
not
means
true.
as
That's not
far as
always
starter.
true, because they didn't consider Jahan. They could hold on. If I look up Jahan Dotson right now, it should say he wasn't a starter, but like 2 times, right?
So
That's
he
what that should
wasn't the
mean.
first player on. So that just means he was not part of the starting 11 on first down. And the only reason, and what I'm going off of that is, when Eli was trying to set the what's the name record, he took a snap. He only took a couple of snaps, and then he was considered the starter. That was a start.
Eli couldn't break the record because they signed him like a dump. They signed him for Geno Smith.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. Everybody was saying just let him take a snap because then he'll be a starter.
Yeah,
Right. So that just means he had to be out there on first down
I mean, but a
as a
snap is a
starter.
stat for a quarterback. Snaps are
The snap's
considered
not
a
a
stat.
stat for a running back.
No, I said it's considered a stat. That's why I rephrased it. It says considered a stat for everybody.
Yeah. How about-
Guys have do you guys have any wild takes for a receiver that can get 1,500 yards next year?
a wild take.
Yeah, maybe like someone who was a
So Southgate, I actually wanted to hit on that. Southgate, I want to know that BTJ and Malik Neighbors won.
BCJ and Malik Neighbors are only 500 and 600. They're
Okay.
actually it's Jamal, Justin, Puka, Nico, CD, and then it has BTJ and Neighbors, and then AJ Brown.
Man, they are putting them up pretty high to be over AJ.
Yeah. So these are the guys
But
that
run first team.
are $1,600 and more.
Damn.
Okay, it's Scary Terry, Brock Bowers, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Devontae Adams, JSN, Marvin Harrison, Metcalf, Evans, Jameis Williams,
Hmm?
Waddle, Pickens, Zay
Oh
Flowers,
no, I thought you
Rich
called me. That's how I turned around.
Pride, and Garrett Wilson, and then Jerry Judy. Anybody think
And,
they'll
and that's to
get
get how much? And that's to reach what landmark?
1,500 yards? Does anybody think like a Devontae Adams could come back with a 1,500 yards?
Mm, I almost uh I almost want to say Rasheed Rice.
That's
My
not
fault.
crazy, JB either.
It's not. You know what I mean? I
It's
think he's
risky, but scared money don't make money. You know what I mean?
Actually, you know what?
That's very true.
He's
Very
not
true.
feel it yet. So the last guy on the list is Debo, 6,500. Actually,
Yeah, I don't trust Debo.
Who said
What?
Jacoby?
That was dry.
That was
Ja,
me. I think Jacoby Myers could get. Jacoby Myers will have a breakout season.
if Jacoby Myers has 1,500 yards receiving, $100 bill will get you 5 stacks.
Okay,
Wow,
so I'm about to bet Jacoby Myers for.
that's risky though. I mean, the quarterback
Yo,
play is
so
gonna.
common.
Does anybody feel anything about
Yo,
Wilson?
To go back to the Chase Brown situation, he didn't become the future back into like a real serious future back until week 6. And he didn't get the he didn't. That's when he really started getting the bulk of the carries. Before then, he was getting like 3 or 4 carries a game. You know, not high. You know.
I like
yo,
him this year. I do
hey
like him this
Ja,
year, Ja.
hey Ja.
Yeah.
I'm still 6'4", 280 pounds.
he's saying he ain't
Understandable.
moved.
Understandable. I'm just saying it's not that far off to say him being a full starter, he would have had at least 13.
Right.
He could have had at least 13. Not saying he would have, but you know.
Right, but I'm just saying you started to walk back when you found out that it was 1,400 and not 1,000.
That's why I went to go look at the future situations and stuff, you know? That's why I said with one easy game, he clearly clears 1,000. I went to go look back at the games where if he was featured and this, that, and the third.
The first game of the season, he had 3 carries, 11 yards. That you ain't doing nothing with that. Then the 4 carries. You ain't really doing nothing with like 3, 4 carries a game.
Actually, John, I got a bet for you.
What happened?
Do you think the Eagles could score one touchdown and one field goal in every game they play this year?
That's the easiest, safest bet yet possible.
Okay,
That would
100.
assume that we don't score a touchdown or a field goal.
You have to score one touchdown and one field goal in every game.
Oh, we have to
Not
kick a field
extra
goal, like an
point
actual
field
field
goal.
goal, not an extra point.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to kick one field goal and score one touchdown.
That's an insane bet. Because what if it could be a game where we're just scoring touchdowns nonstop and never
That's
kick a
why
field
it's
goal?
a bet.
That's why it's a bet.
What's the odds on that one, Southgate? What are we looking at money wise?
$100 bill get you 6,000.
I'll
Wow,
try it.
Do you think Jalen will have at least one passing touchdown in every game?
If
I
you
don't.
said rushing touchdown, I would have said yes.
Well,
But yeah, I'm gonna say yeah regardless.
they have the Eagles to score one rushing touchdown in every regular season game.
That is the easiest bet you could ever make.
And what's $100 bill get you, Southgate?
900.
I don't like that. I don't like that quite as much because that's the safer bet. That's why the money's so much lower.
Yep. But I was gonna say if you like Jalen, $100 bill get you 2,000.
2,000.
Yep.
Easy $2,000.
So let's see. Now
What
if
is
you
the
take
odds of the
someone like
Broncos? What's the Broncos' odds to the Super Bowl?
Let's go.
the Broncos,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I got it written down right here. To go or to win?
So just to go.
Oh, just to go. Hold on. To win their conference. AFC 1,300.
Mm. And to win is how much?
To win the Super Bowl is 2,700.
Uh, hey, you put $100 in, you might make some money.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't like that quite as much, even though I'm a Broncos fan.
No, I don't see us going to the Super Bowl.
Nope, I
It's
see my team going. So
I mean, you could bet to make the
Not
divisional
quite
round.
yet.
I mean, you could bet to make the divisional round.
I see it this way when it comes to this. Going back to that, I'm sorry, I guess I got cut off. Ja, the reason why was because the Bengals had to abandon the run because they were so far behind. That's why Chase Brown was so low in production the first 5 weeks.
yeah, they did. Yeah, they were abandoning the run. Yeah, and then they started to trust the board a little bit more as the season progressed. You're right.
Yeah, because they finally got some wins under their belt. They started 0-4.
Yeah, true.
You could tell me how the New York Jets or even the Tennessee Titans have better odds to make it to the divisional round than the New York Giants.
Because the Giants have the single-handedly worst schedule in the NFL. It's a
And
schedule like the Pittsburgh Steelers got last year.
you are right about that.
Yo, the Giants are legit fucked at the end of the season based on schedule, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, rewinding the clocks, I wouldn't have wished what the Pittsburgh Steelers got after Week 10 to anyone last year.
Oh yeah,
But
that was brutal, and they had
and
to
that's what I'm
win one
saying
of.
is the Giants are
Yo,
getting
bro,
the same treatment this year.
and you know what made it worse for Pittsburgh? They had to win like 2 out of those games. They had to win like 2 out of 7 to win the
Actually,
division.
I got one more for you. Everybody give me their Super Bowl matchup.
Like I said before, it's too early to really judge, so I'm gonna just say the 2 teams that was in the Super Bowl until the season starts.
So you're gonna say Kansas City versus Eagles?
Eagles until the season starts yet.
See what that.
Rematch.
Let's see what that
Yeah.
Billy is.
I looked up schedule. This motherfucker showed tickets. I don't care if I live in New York. I don't want to see no tickets.
Kansas City versus the Eagles.
I do have the Chiefs winning that game.
$100 bill if those two teams play each other get you 2,200.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the Chiefs winning that game just because the Eagles got a new OC and that first 4 weeks is a gelling period to where I feel they still have to work some kinks out.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, the
I
Giants.
got the Chiefs winning or losing week 1, winning week 2.
See, I have us
Actually,
going, I have us winning the first 2 weeks.
yeah,
Yo, hold on,
I have
hold
us
on.
actually in our first 4 weeks. I have us going 2-2.
Yo, from week 3 to week 9 is a crazy stretch for the Giants. They go Chargers. No, they go Chiefs, Chargers. They get a easy game with the Saints. Eagles, Broncos, Eagles again, 49ers. Then they get a bit. Then they go Bears, Packers, Lions.
Hey, Trent,
Yeah.
give me your Super Bowl prediction.
I'm going Bills, Eagles.
Appreciate you, Southgate.
Yep.
Super Bowl prediction.
Mine is Rams Bills.
Common.
I'm thinking
Hey, Trent, that would also get you 2,000.
because it's so early.
Yeah, that's why I just go with the previous Super Bowl winners until I see otherwise.
Yeah. So you know what? Early on paper, it's just hard not to. Eagles, Bills.
Eagles Bills. Did we just do that one?
Yeah, you said 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
No, matter
said.
of fact, let me change that.
I have
I
the
got
Chiefs and the
Eagles
Rams.
and Baltimore. I got
Eagles,
Eagles and
Baltimore.
I think Lamar finally makes it there. Whether now what he does when he gets there, I don't know. But I
The
think he
problem
finally
is I
makes
want Lamar to win when the first time you get there. So if he plays us, that means he loses, and that would be a problem for me.
it.
I got the Chiefs and the Rams, honestly. For as hard as the Rams played the Eagles last playoffs, I honestly think they're going to get over that hump. As far as the Chiefs are go, we're finally healthy. We're not dealing with any lingering issues from Leo Chanel or any of them guys. The fact is, we still made it to the Super Bowl hurt.
You
I,
know what?
I
The Chiefs and the Rams actually pays 3,800.
Wow.
It's the Rams that really boost you up, I feel like there.
Mm, Probably, yeah. I do understand that. I just I don't know. I think like I said earlier in the other show, Chiefs. I've seen dude. We're this is we were injured last year. We went 15-2, made it to the Super Bowl, completely injured. Wide receiver core decimated. Left tackle gone.
And Mahomes.
Kick gone.
Go ahead, Southgate.
No, I said Ed Mahomes hobbling at the end of the season.
Yeah, Mahomes a hobbling. Pacheco was out. Left tackle. We went through. We shifting them out. We had trouble in our secondary. We had just moved on from.
Actually,
And
JB and Chiefs, let me ask you guys. I mean,
mhm.
did Pachenko ever come back healthy, or was he just not ever used again?
he never came back.
He came back. He did come back. He just didn't. He didn't do anything.
But
was
Kareem Hunt took over the number one role.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
came back for that playoff run, right?
yeah. They had him a couple of games in the regular season, and he just he. I mean, dude, he broke his tib. You know, he had
But the number
that
one
whole
thing
thing.
was, but the number one thing was 8 of our starters had 28. I think it was like 24 to 28 days off between games.
I
That's
think
too
it had
much
a
of a gap.
mental thing too. Yeah, yeah.
well.
Anyone has almost a month off in the NFL, you are going to have rust. Doesn't matter if you start out and everything else. You still, this is a momentum based game.
I still have to figure out this Brock Purdy thing. A Train, I would say, when you're doing a fantasy league, take a
Yeah,
shot on the 49 on the 49er receivers late, the Purcells and the Jawan Jennings and stuff.
I like that. I do like that. Now that, because I don't know, I've been hearing rumblings about this Ricky Purcell, and I don't know if I can if there's fuel on the fire. You know what I mean?
Yep, because with Purdy, with them having Purdy putting up those numbers, I think one of them have to ball out.
Jawan Jennings is obviously the number one, and I mean Ayuk is going to be hurt, so he's going to go late too.
Yeah.
George Kittle, he's definitely a top tight end. I don't know how early he goes in fantasy drafts, right? I'll have to look come closer to the season, but yeah, Vegas has got me stumped right now. I just don't know what they see in this Niners team that I've overlooked up to this point in this offseason.
Maybe they see them playing from behind a lot.
Yeah. Or it's that schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely that schedule.
It's not only that, it's not only the schedule, but how many come from behind wins does Purdy have?
Mm.
It's a good question.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you on that.
Well, we've just hit the 2 hour mark. You guys want to close this out and we'll continue this next week?
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
I think that was definitely a good portion that the gambling betting parlay aspect. I think that Southgate definitely hit the mark on that.
Absolutely.
He's told me a lot of things that I've overlooked up to this point and have shocked me.
Well, obviously, we know the NFL is very high on Brian Thomas and Neighbors, at least Vegas is.
Yep.
Wow.
I drafted both in fantasy last year.
And
if you see any things you want to take right now, now is the time, because honestly, once training camp starts and the preseason starts, they're going to change, I think, a pretty good deal going up to Labor Day weekend before the season starts.
Chief, you're right, and because yes, the odds are going to get lower, but if someone gets hurt, you're screwed.
I like to say, especially since we lose a big name every year in training camp.
That's what I'm saying. So if you take one of those guys and he gets hurt.
Yep.
Somebody tears the ACL for the last, I don't know how many seasons every year in training camp. One name person, like one, whether it's a big name lineman, whether it's a key with receiver, running back, somebody tears something, and they're out for the season.
I'm definitely putting in that that division bet.
Yeah, I like that too, actually. All right. Well, let's just end it right there. Good job, guys. We'll
Yeah, man.
we'll definitely get back together next week, every Tuesday.
Everybody watch it.
Y'all have a good evening.
Y'all can lock in with us. We are on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Did we get the apple yet?
I'm sorry?
Did we get the apple yet?
I think it's uploading. I think it takes a second. I think it takes like 24 hours. But that's one of the only ones I'm waiting on.
Gotcha. Well, I hope the rest of y'all have a good day on purpose.
Yep. You guys have a good day on purpose.
Signing off. Not Moved Podcast.
I'm not moved.
I'm not moved.